Hello, my name is John Weber. I'm the step biologist with the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife. I'm the technical advisor for the Indian Creek Fish Hatchery. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the feeding process here at Indian Creek so that the folks that volunteer at the facility have a good understanding of feeding and have something to reference. We'd like to welcome you to the facility, and we appreciate your volunteer time you spend here.
Dave Barnes, I'm the feed master here at the hatchery. When you come to the hatchery to do your feeding, when you come through the door, the first thing you're going to see is the logbook and a sign-in sheet. I ask you to please check the logbook and read back the last couple of days and see what the people have found who've been here before you. Sign in on the sign-in sheet, and then we go into the feed room. Over here in our feed room, we have our feed board. Every Sunday morning, I come in and I weigh the fish, and I determine how much feed they need and what kind of feed they need. I write it on this board here, I date it so that everyone knows what's happening. Next, we go over to the feed cabinet. In the feed cabinet, you'll find feed set up for all three of the raceways, Raceway 1, Raceway 2, Raceway 3. Any special notes there are for feeders, I will hang on a paper plate in the front of the cabinet. What we do is we take 1 cup for each of the raceways that we're going to be feeding that day, and we take them outside to the raceway. For hand feeding, what we want to do is try to spread the feed as best we can over the entire raceway. So we take pinches out of the cup and we just toss them out. You want to work your way down the raceway as evenly as you can, trying to get good coverage of the entire top of the raceway. When we get down here near the end, we stop the last couple of feet because anything else is just going to wash through the screen and be gone. After we do that, we stand back and watch. Not going to feed the whole cup in one feeding, so we come back and we start over again from the beginning and keep putting feed out for them. We want to keep throwing feed on the fish until they slow down from eating. Right now they're eating very well. So after we feed though, we stand back. Fish don't seem to like the people standing over the top of them watching. And you'll notice here that the fish seem to be eating in the front, but not in the back of the raceway. So when you see this, you'll concentrate your feeding to the area where the fish are feeding. As you'll notice, we have a divider in the middle of the raceway out here. That's to keep the fish in a smaller area. The fish are very small right now, about 900 fish per pound. And to feed them better and to make sure they get a better concentration of food, we've started halving the raceway and we keep the fish in one half of it. Once they get bigger, we will take the center divider out and the fish will have the run of the whole raceway. But for now, at the beginning, we keep them in the smaller area. When you're done with one raceway, move on to the next one. Same as the first. The object is to cover the top with the feed. what we find is that if you feed in one raceway, then move on to the next one and move on to the next one, you can come back and check them again. As you notice, these came up and started eating immediately. While you're waiting for the fish to feed as you're going from raceway to raceway, it's a good opportunity to just take a look around and see how things look. Make sure there's no holes anywhere. Look over your head at the net and make sure that that looks okay. Make sure the water's draining out the bottom, all your water levels are all right. Your screens aren't clogged up. Just basically looking around and making sure what's happening here is all good. All right, and when we're done with our feeding, we take our empty cups and bring them back inside. Quick primer on how to use the scale. Whatever cup you're going to be feeding with, place an empty one on the scale and push the on button. Having the cup on there will automatically zero the scale to the weight of the cup. We take the buckets that are in the cabinet, put the feed in them, put them on the scale, and it'll weigh how much feed there is. Go from the board here, list the amounts. And when you have the cups filled up, take them and we put them back in the feed cabinet again. There'll be another video to follow this one once we put the auto feeders on the raceways. That's when it becomes more intricate and complex, and we need to we'll have a special video for that one showing you how they work. Thank you.